loves, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is going to be all about who cannot stop thinking about you. We are going to try to get as much information as possible in today's reading. I am very excited about it. If you are new to pick a card readings and you want to have a little quick rundown of how they work, over here we have group number 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment and pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about who cannot stop thinking about you. And with that being said, I just wanted to quickly also mention, before we add some crystals on these cards, I know some of you like to choose with crystals, but there's been quite a few new people here and there's been a lot of questions about where the jewelry is from and the bracelets. I make these cute little bracelets and stuff. I have a jewelry website, so I'll have that link down below if any of you are interested. I also have a crystal website, so all that information will be down below for those of you that do not know about that. So yeah, with that being said, if you like to choose with crystals on these cards, then let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, so if you like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. So over here we have this beautiful amethyst tower on group number 1. Then we have a rose quartz tower on group 2. Then we have a pyrite tower on group 3. Then over here we have a citrine tower on group 4, and then a quartz tower on group number 5. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is linked to your particular card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about who cannot stop thinking about you. So without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this group, this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 1, we have the 5 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the 3 of Wands, we also have the Moon card and the Death card to resemble who cannot stop thinking about you. So immediate vibes right away. So the fact that we have the 5 of Pentacles right here, I don't think that you are aware that this person thinks about you a lot. I think that they feel very distant from you at the moment. They don't feel like they maybe know you very well, but they do think about you a lot, and they feel like they have a lot of emotion about you. Like this person, I think they really think about you and they wish that they knew you better, because I don't feel like you two even really know each other that well. I feel like you've maybe met once before. Honestly, it could have even been as brief as them sort of seeing you, but maybe not even talking to you or saying anything. But this person thinks about you a lot. This Ace of Pentacles makes me think that it's very new and it hasn't developed very far, and I think that you aren't even aware that this person is constantly thinking about you. The 3 of Wands right here makes me think that this person possibly knows you through a mutual friend. You might have exchanged some words at one point, but again, it hasn't gotten very serious, and I don't think you two are like friends yet by any means. I think that you two are maybe just acquaintances, or this person just knows of you because they've maybe, seen you through a mutual friend, or a mutual friend that you guys have has mentioned you before with this person. And somehow this person has developed a pretty big crush on you and thinks about you quite a bit, and things like that. But this Moon card also tells me that they haven't expressed their feelings to you. It's still very unknown, and they're still very unsure. Like for some reason, I just really like this person. Maybe I've heard about them before. Maybe they've kind of seen you before. But again, it's very new, fresh, and unknown. But yeah, this person also, I think, somehow has given up on maybe like trying to talk to you, or maybe they feel like they won't get a chance to, so they've kind of let it go. Therefore, they haven't really tried too hard to approach you by any means or get in contact with you, because they already kind of feel like maybe either you're out of their league, or that they can't really get to you for some reason. Like there's some sort of reason that it's just, I don't know, awkward for them to maybe express themselves, because again, I feel like it's so new, that yeah, they don't feel comfortable just walking up to you and being like, hey, I really like you. I heard about you through blah, blah, blah. And like, I just saw you and I just really like you. The King of Cups tells me this person has thought about you quite a bit. They think about, starting something with you, but they've kind of already lost hope and they've just told themselves like, no, I'm just going to let it go. It's fine. I'm not even going to try. And I think this person really fears rejection from you. They super fear rejection from you. The Five of Pentacles is the fact that they already feel like you're out of their league, and they probably also feel very disconnected from you for the time being. And maybe they even interacted with you a small amount, but maybe already felt sort of like insignificant or something. So they kind of just backed off. And then they think about you on their own, and they constantly, I think, fantasize, because the King of Cups is a very powerful kind of emotion, right? I don't think that they have developed maybe love for you, especially if it's so fresh, but they definitely have a very strong magnetized feeling towards you. And they've probably already thought about like, oh, wouldn't it be so amazing if I somehow met this person and things were amazing and then they mutually liked me and everything just turned out great. I think this person has thought all of those things before. And yeah, they've definitely thought about what it would be like to make a move. This Ace of Pentacles also talks about like a physical interaction. So they've definitely thought about a physical interaction quite a bit. And they fantasize about having a very solid interaction that goes really well. They've thought about it quite a bit, but then again, they've also kind of just taken a back seat because they do still feel like you are out of their league, and I think they're really scared of rejection from you. The Three of Wands could also mean for some of you that one of you is in a relationship. Like this person might be seeing you, and the reason why they haven't approached you is maybe because you're in a relationship. That could also be another aspect of the Three of Wands. Or maybe this person is also in a relationship, but then they're like that. Maybe that's also why they're holding themselves back, and they feel like you're intangible because they're like, well, I've already committed myself to another person. So that could also be another aspect of the Three of Wands. It can definitely also correlate to those things as well, but it can also just indicate that you know each other through a mutual friend. Okay, so, maybe all of the above is correct, or maybe, again, it is a general reading, so I'm just pointing out all the different options here. But yeah, this person definitely is very intrigued by you and has thought many times of the types of interactions that could happen and has fantasized about a future with you. But at the same time, they're like, I am hiding these emotions forever. They have them very deep, way deep within them, that I think even if you didn't interact with this person, they would be fantasizing about it, but they would never kind of really say it. This person, I think, is very shy about expressing this to you, but they think about you so much. Like I can't even stress the amount that I think this person thinks about you. The fact that we have the King of Cups, like they feel some emotions, like they feel like this could really develop into a deep love, at least for them. That's how they feel. But the Moon and the Death card definitely indicate that they've repressed this and they've kind of already let it go and moved past it. And they're like, I need to transform this feeling. I need to get over it. I need to not talk about this. I need to just, get over it. But yeah, I also think that this person also thinks that there's no chance, because the Moon also means that we don't see a pathway. So this person also thinks that like, I just don't see how it could ever happen. They don't, I think another reason why they also hold themselves back in their fear of rejection, because they don't see how you would ever say yes to them. For whatever reason, maybe it's because maybe you have a mutual friend and it would just be very awkward to get together. Maybe there's like a weird lover's triangle, because the Three of Wands can also indicate a lover's triangle type of deal. So maybe they also see you as very impossible to reach because of a lover's triangle situation. And they're like, well, I could never really be with you because we know a mutual person and maybe whatever, right? Like, for example, this could be like your boyfriend's best friend or like your girlfriend's best friend, for example. Like it could be something like that because of what we kind of see going on over here. Or again, it could just be as simple as like, maybe you went out with a couple friends once and then they brought along like another friend that they have and you didn't really interact much, but this person is like constantly thinking about you. So for example, it could be something like that. Or it could have just been, yeah, I don't know, like just a random event that this person has met you in, but they do feel somehow like you're very intangible, right? And the fact that we have a lot of pentacles, it could also indicate that maybe you two are coworkers and that's why you can't be together. I don't really feel that one as strongly in this as I feel like there's somehow a mutual friend here. But it could also be that maybe you two work together. That could also be another aspect of this, just because there are pentacles, and again, it is a general reading, so I'm just going to point out all the different sort of things. But I'm definitely feeling for the most part, there's mutual friend energy going on here, and that's how this person knows of you. And again, it could have been even as simple as a mutual friend that you have mentioning you to this person and showing them like pictures or something, and maybe this person is constantly like, wow, I really wish I could somehow meet them, you know, whatever the case may be. But this person is definitely thinking about you, and they're definitely intrigued by you quite a bit. So with that being said, let's get into some more cards. So the overall, this card's going to represent the overall energy of this attraction. And this person, what's representing here is the best possible decision card, which is very interesting because this person, I think that they think, also have a little ant here, like, hello. I live by the beach, and so there's a lot of ants in my house. But anyway, the best possible decision. I think that this person has convinced themselves that it's the best possible decision to just like keep quiet and, you know, suppress their feelings for you. I think that this person's already come to the conclusion that it's going to be best to just not act upon this whatsoever. And they've already made up their minds. So I feel like even if, let's say there was a scenario that you got to interact with this person again, and even if you were like, so have you ever like thought about us? I feel like this person would just close that off right away because they've already sort of just like convinced themselves that this is the best possible decision, is to just not do this. So yeah, also another aspect of this card can also indicate that this person randomly wonders, and I think they have randomly wondered in the past, like, is it worth it to go for this person and possibly have it end in an awful feeling, either in rejection or causing other situations to plummet because of it. They've often wondered that. But then they're like, you know what? No, it's best to just lock this down and never mention it. And nope. So that's kind of the conclusion, and the overarching energy of this is like they've already kind of decided that it's a no. But I do still think that they think about you quite often, and every time they think about it, they're like, I need to stop thinking about this. I need to stop thinking about this. That's what they keep telling themselves, because they already again feel like it's quite impossible. They feel like you're an impossible person for them. So with that being said, the next couple cards that we have here, we also have the Moonlight card and Encouragement. So Moonlight is very connected to the fact that we also have the moon here, so I'm not even surprised that this card is coming up, but it's also a beautiful correlation. So I think often, one of the things that I'm getting from this is this person often thinks about you before going to bed. And that's when you kind of come to their mind a lot. I also think that they've like, for some reason I'm getting that they've also prayed to the universe for answers on like, what should I do? Like, are we meant to be together? Why do I feel so strongly about this person? Like, why is this the way it is? Like, why? You know, they've often like questioned that. That's one of the things that I'm picking up from that. But also Moonlight, the moon is associated with unknown energy. And so this is also, again, the fact that I really don't think that you who are watching this has any idea that this person feels this way. But yeah, they've really kept it secret. This is a big secret that this person carries, okay? And I don't think they're gonna reveal it anytime soon. And this could have been going on for a long time, a short time. Again, it is a general reading, so it could be different for each of you, but this person feels strongly. The moon is also very connected to our emotions, right? And the King of Cups, the fact that we have the King of Cups and the Moon cards, this person could also very well be the zodiac sign of Cancer, just because we have so much Cancer energy, or again Scorpio, because we even have the Death card, which deals with Scorpio, and Pisces also falls underneath this sort of description as well, for the most part. But again, it is a general reading, so I don't really want to name off zodiac signs too much, just because it is a general reading. But the fact that we just have a lot of this water energy made me want to say that. So yeah, we do also have some Pentacle energy, which is Earth, but I'm definitely getting a lot of water energy here. We also have the card here of encouragement. So I think that this person often daydreams about like the possibility of you enticing the idea first. But at the same time, I think even if that did happen, for some reason, they still have so much restriction over this for whatever reason. They're still just like, no. But they do daydream about, you're a fantasy for them. Let's just put it that way. Like group number one, you are a fantasy for this person. Are they actually going to pursue it in real life? They daydream about it, but the likelihood of that actually happening to them is very low. But they do daydream about it. I'm not gonna lie, this person thinks about it a lot. But it definitely seems like they have, they're very closed off. They have a lot of walls around this, and it's probably one of the biggest secrets that they have is the fact that they feel this way about you. So yeah, with that being said, the next two cards that we have here, we have the Angel of Strength. So yes, this person has definitely utilized their restraint around you a lot. The Strength card talks about patience, restraint, willpower, and this person has definitely had to keep their strength to not go for this. And again, there's a lot of fears around it. There's a lot of walls around it. It's pretty confusing. This person themselves doesn't even really know what's going on. So they're a bit interesting to read, but yes, they definitely have practiced a lot of restraint around you. They've put up a lot of walls around this, and they're trying to take the high road and do what's best here. But they think about you so much. And I think I've reiterated that enough times, but I'm just, yeah. And then we also have Woman Holding a Heart. So this makes me think about this King of Cups card. These two are very much related in the sense that they are, it's kind of like the feelings are just growing, right? And yeah, I feel like this person's feelings are just kind of like growing for you, and they're still just like, just hold back, don't act on this. Let's not play into this game. That's kind of like what they're telling themselves. But they also see, I feel like this is also representing you and how they see you. And they see you as a very perfect, kind, very loving person that they would love to get to know and have a deep connection with. Because when they see you, it's almost like you're holding their heart. Honestly, yeah, when I'm looking at this, you're holding their heart. And I feel like they haven't been able to really get into a different relationship, or at least even if they are in a relationship right now, it doesn't feel very deep to them, because it's like you've captured their heart somehow. And even they're confused by it. Like, they don't even have the answers. They're confused about, like, I don't know how you captured my heart, but you did. And I've just been practicing restraint. I just feel like this is not respectful. Like, yeah. Very intense emotions here for this person, group number one. Wow. The next two cards, we have the Magi, which is the magician basically, and then we also we have surrender. So this person often, thinks about, like, how could I just manifest that there is a way? Like, they do think about that. They think about, like, oh, what if things turned out different? Like, what if I could rewrite something? Like, this is making me think about rewriting energy. And they often think about, what if I could rewrite this so it's like slightly different, so that it could work out. But at the same time, they've also fully surrendered to this situation. They've fully just let it go, and they're just like, This is just going to play out the way it plays out. Like they've fully let go, where they're not going to step forward. They're not going to take action on this. They're just letting the universe play it out the way that it's going to play out. And the fact that we have the surrender card just basically says that this person has already decided to not take any action. They've already decided to just, again, close off, kind of like what we've been saying this whole time. But they often think about, like, what if things were written differently? What if it was written in the stars differently? You know? They very often think that. With that being said, I also really want to take out some of these cards just to get some more information on this reading. So let's see what we get here for this group. We have caution. Ooh, this person has like put up the caution tape, the boundaries. They are taking caution around this whole situation. They are not wanting to step over boundaries. They are not wanting to, they're definitely taking caution. Self-worth. This person also might have some self-worth issues where they don't feel good enough for you anyway. So they've kind of already just like let it go because they just don't feel good enough. But you've like totally captured their hearts. It's just crazy. Hope. So they do still cling on to some hope that maybe one day, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of barriers around this. Tons of barriers. But they definitely feel like you're higher than them. They have you on a whole pedestal, and they think of you as much higher than they are. With that being said, let's go ahead and try to get some more information now too. So group one, the person who's constantly thinking about group one, some more info. They often wish that they were worthy. Also, ladybugs talk about romance blossoming. So they really wish that they were worthy. We also have the determination card, which is interesting. But fox, okay, they don't want to be a fox, because fox can also indicate sneaky behavior. And they're determined to not do that, is what I'm getting from this. We also have insight. So I think they overthink things sometimes. And they also are very cautious to not ever slip up and make this known. Like they don't want to be seen. Like the peacock feather is something that's very noticeable, right? And they don't want, like they don't want to be known. And then the fox again indicates sneaky behavior, and I feel like they're very determined to not have sneaky behavior, or they're at least very determined to not ever have it known. Because again, they think about you a lot, and you know, there might have been small interactions between you already, and they're very determined to kind of sneak around this and never really reveal it. There's this energy of not wanting to reveal this. Okay? With that being said, we're just going to take out a couple of these cards to get any last info on this reading. I've just felt like shuffling all the cards for this pile. It's been very, very juicy. Dreamtime creation. Ooh, this one fits in well, group one. My goodness. This is a juicy, juicy pile. You guys have a very interesting prospect here. We also have music of harmony. Maybe let's get one more card, because this is just a juicy pile. Okay, we'll go with that. 3 more cards. We're gonna take those up in a second. But dream time. I mean, this one's pretty obvious. I'm sure a lot of you already can kind of assume what this one is showing. But basically, this person dreams about you a lot. You probably show up in their dreams a lot. And again, kind of what I was saying when we had a lot of the moon cards come up. This person thinks about you mostly before going to bed, and so they're almost that's their time to really fantasize about you. And that's their time to really, like, you know, live it in their imagination. We also have the music card of harmony. I feel like they just think that you two would be a really good match if circumstances in life played out differently. And if things were written differently, which is why we have the magician there. So yeah, maybe you two also connect on a lot of same interests is what I'm also getting from the music card. You two connect on a lot of similar interests, at least as far as this person knows about you so far. They might not know a ton of information yet, but based on what they do know, is that you two would be a really good match. Okay, we also have the full moon, which I'm not even surprised that we're getting another moon in this reading, but this one is completion. So they've really just ended it. They feel like it's already, you know, done. We're not gonna, you know, play around with it too much more, but they still can't get you off their mind, that's for sure. But they're really wanting to just like put this to an end. We also have ocean, ebb and flow. So I think that there's times where they feel very over it. And there's times that maybe when they are, you know, focused on other things in their life, that they can kind of like forget about you and feel like they can move on. But then the ebb and flow, it just kind of comes back, right? Just like waves. I feel like you are on their mind in waves. There's times where they're like, yes, I finally feel free. I finally feel like detached from it. Like I don't have to think about it anymore. For example, you know, when they're like busy doing other things. But then all of a sudden, you know, during quiet time, like for example, before they go to bed or whatever, when it's a bit more quiet, it just comes flooding back. All the thoughts of you come flooding back. It's wild. They're just like, wow, what am I supposed to do in this situation? And we also have the dance card of celebration. So yeah, I think that this represents that this person really imagines like physical, and I don't mean physical as in like, you know, that sort of stuff necessarily, but physical in the way of this person imagines like physical circumstances with you, like going out, dancing, for example. This person's also very happy for you. They're cheering you on is another thing that I get from this card. And they're definitely here to cheer you on. They don't want you to have a bad life. They don't want to hold you back, and they don't want to ruin your life, which is another reason why I think that they very much hold themselves back. Because they want you to be your best, and they want to see you do your best. They want to be able to celebrate you. So that's why they end up, you know, obviously holding themselves back in this particular scenario. So that is what we have here for you. Group number 1. What a juicy reading. You definitely have a secret admirer, to say the least. And I don't think they're going to reveal their emotions anytime soon, but they think that it's for the best. I'm not part of the situation, so I cannot agree or disagree with that, but they definitely think it's for the best, that they don't, you know, come back or come back at all, or, you know, reveal their emotions type of thing. So yeah, that's what we have here for you. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll be happy to see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 2, here's what we have for you. We have the 10 of Swords, we have the Magician, we have the Chariot. Some nice major arcana cards right here. We have the 2 of Cups, we have the Hermit, another major arcana card, and we have the Page of Cups over here. So lots of cup energy, lots of major arcana card energy, and yeah, also the 10 of Swords here. So let's talk about what all of this is representing in terms of who cannot stop thinking about you. So this person has definitely been hurt in their past quite a bit. This person probably didn't come from the best previous relationships or the greatest past. Like, this person has experienced life, you know, and not just the good parts of it. They've experienced some definite hardships, but they've like come out on top. They've used these hardships to really grow themselves into a better person, and somebody who is taking control of their life rather than being a victim. This person has definitely been in victimhood, you know, like they've experienced a lot of stuff that was very much against their favor, but they've learned how to change that to them taking back their power, taking back control over their life, and all that kind of stuff, and really shift the direction of their life. This person has shifted their direction so much, like with the Chariot card being next. This person has really learned how to manifest what they desire in life, to change the course of their life from where it was going to somewhere much, much better, you know. Also with the 2 of Cups being here, I think that You two are aware of each other's liking for each other. The Two of Cups also makes me feel like your feelings for each other are mutual. So most likely you already know who this person is, and most likely you two both feel the same about each other. So the person that's thinking about you, maybe you two are already in a relationship, or maybe you two have already at least expressed maybe a liking to each other, or at least hinted around that. There is some awareness here though, for the most part, that I can see. Because the Two of Cups does represent more of a union and a connection. So at least you two have definitely, you definitely know of each other, and most likely you are at least like dating or talking or in a relationship. Okay, and then we also have the Hermit card here, and as well as the Page of Cups. So this person's emotions actually go much deeper than you think. Okay, so group 2, one thing I can definitely say about the person who constantly thinks about you is they feel deeper for you than they let on. They don't talk about how deep they feel about you, even if you think that they do, even if you think like, oh, this person's totally expressed to me how they feel. It's deeper than that, okay? This person thinks much deeper than what they let on. Like this Two of Cups to me is very powerful, this Magician and this Chariot. Like they really see their life with you. This person really sees a future with you. They honestly, I think, are in creation of that future. And they want to move in that direction. And they feel things very deeply. But then the Hermit card also says that there's a deeper sense here than what we currently know about. And these two cards are very magical, might I say. The Magician and the Hermit, they are very magical cards. And so they have a very magical feeling about you, almost like, how does this person even exist? How did I manifest a person like this? They're honestly a little bit in shock. I think that this person's in shock that they have found somebody like you, because they really, really like you. And I don't think that they've ever liked somebody as deeply as they like you. Group number 2, which is also interesting. It's group number 2 and we have the Two of Cups, and this is a very mutual thing because 2s represent union. And we're also in the year 2022 as I'm making this video. And it is also February right now. And I think it's February 11th, which is also another 2 when you put the 11 together. We're having a lot of 2 energy today. It is powerful. And so what I can say right now is most likely, like if you're watching this as I'm making it in the year 2022, this is a really good year for union and things like that. Of course, all the other years, you can still have union and all of that regardless, but particularly the year that I'm filming this is a really good time for connection and union. But anyway, back to the reading. These 2 cards are extremely magical. So this person thinks very deeply about a future with you, and probably is, thinking about like, ooh, like, what is our life going to be like in 5 years? What is our life going to be like in 10 years? Like they've thought very deeply about this, and they also feel a connection to you deeper than they've ever felt with anybody in their life before. Even if, say, they've been in like a 5-year relationship before, and maybe you two have only known each other for like, I don't know, whatever, less time, for example. No matter how much time that you've known this person for or not, they still oddly feel like, they have a deeper connection with you than anybody. And I think it's because of the way that you two connect. This person feels like you are like a perfect match for them. Like they almost couldn't have even written a better match for themselves. But they've definitely imagined like, oh, what if I could find my perfect person? And then here comes you. And then they're like, wow, this is exactly, if not more, than what I wanted, So this person feels very strongly about you. And I don't think they've expressed that to its fullest extent yet. Yet is the key word, because I do think this person will begin to express more. But it seems like they almost wait until you both kind of progress to the place where it's comfortable to talk about those things. This person's not wanting to come across too strong too fast. They want to grow it to where you two are always on the same page. They want to be on the same page with you. Okay? So this person is taking it slow, and they're doing that on purpose because they don't want to rush into it and like ruin it, because I think that they've experienced that in their past where they've maybe rushed into things and it's completely ruined, and they really want this one to work out because, again, they've never met anybody like you before. They're always thinking about you because they're like, there's never been anybody like this in my life before. And they definitely feel that way. Also, I know that this reading is sounding very romantic, but, and not all the readings are necessarily meant to be romantic, because anybody can be thinking about you, really. This particular pile definitely feels romantic. So, yeah, that's why we're talking about more romantic stuff here. The Page of Cups right here talks about the fact that they only speak like in little increments about how they feel. They let you know a little bit. They let you know like 20% of what they feel, for example. But there's a whole 80% that's like left unexpressed, but it will be expressed. I think this person really wants to express that. But again, they want to make sure that we're always on the same page and that they're not coming across too strong and they're not moving too quickly. Because this person very much kind of like almost has a plan, like, I don't want to move too quickly, but I definitely want to move in that direction, and explore it more. They're really interested in exploring it more. The Hermit is also a very explorative card, and they want to get to know you very deeply. This person thinks about like how amazing it would be to know you so deeply on such a deep level and have a really amazing connection. I also think that this person doesn't even really speak to other people how deeply they feel about you. This person is kind of keeping it to themselves for now and exploring it deeper, and then also exploring themselves deeper, because they're like, wow, I really feel this. Like, you know, where's this stemming from? Is this real? They want to make sure that it's very real, right? Before leading on any other promises. But what I can tell you from this pile is it's very real what this person is feeling, but they're almost in shock, you know? So they're not wanting to, again, come across too strong, let it on too heavy in the beginning. So they're just keeping it light. They're keeping it fun. Page of Cups, I definitely think they've expressed a bit to you. I think that you are aware of their feelings for you. But again, it goes deeper. And you will find out about it over time. So, yeah. They will definitely be expressing it more and more as things begin to progress more and more, you know, as time continues to go on. So let's see if I'm seeing anything else in here before we move on to our other cards that we have. This person definitely tries to look into the future a lot. Like, ooh, where can I see this going? Like, how do I see this happening? This person definitely thinks about like all the different sort of choices that you two are going to make in life. And they also want to make sure that you two are headed in the same direction, and they also kind of feel deep down inside like you are, because the Chariot is also the direction that we're going in life. And sometimes we can have relationships where both of us sort of want different things and we're headed in different directions, which causes a lot of conflict, because it's like we're trying to drive one chariot. We're trying to, you know, move through life together, but one person wants to go in that direction, one person wants to go in that direction, and it can get kind of difficult, right? Because it's almost like you have to split the chariot, which, you know, ends up being, you know, a breakup. And they don't want that. They want to make sure that you two are on the same page, and they deeply feel like you two are. The Chariot and next to the Two of Cups is a very powerful sign that, you know, at least this person feels like you two have the same future goals. You two seem to be going in the same direction, and it just seems like you two will be getting closer and closer. And so they definitely think that of you. I do think, again, they keep quite a bit of their emotions so far a bit more secretive, but they do also express, I think they express the perfect amount for now, but it will get deeper, and it'll be very, when this person does express like more deepness, it'll be very beautiful, and it'll unify you two more, most likely, is kind of what I'm seeing here. But again, this person, I do think you already know them, and I think you're already very much aware of like who this is. The next card that we have is going to represent the overall entirety of this sort of like person thinking about you and whatnot. We actually have a beautiful card for that. We have the card here of joy. So the overall energy of, you know, you and this person is that of joy. This is a very fun relationship. I think it is very mutual. Most likely you two feel the same way about each other. And yeah, I also think that you two heal a lot. I think this person feels so comfortable around you because you don't really bring up this side for them. They've experienced that before. They've experienced quite a bit of hardship. They probably experienced some really bad relationships. And with you, they're like, how the hell did I manifest this? Like, this is amazing. This is incredible. This is what I've always wanted, to the point where they thought that love like this or attraction like this was only in fairy tales. I think that they thought partnerships like this were literally only meant for like Disney movies. They feel a lot of joy around this, and they are very excited about it, to say the least. There's a lot of joy that, overtakes their mind whenever they think about you. When this person thinks about you, they feel lit up. I also think that you light up corners of themselves that they've never even been aware of. You light up, you add awareness, to parts of them that haven't even been awakened before. And they really enjoy that. Like, you shine a light on things, that they've never felt before. And you are awakening joy in them that they've just never experienced before. Okay, so this is really beautiful, to be honest. Very beautiful reading. I'm really liking this one so far. So anyway, the next two cards that we have here, we have the Golden Palace, and we have Come Together. Okay, so these cards are very fitting for this particular reading. I actually want to start by talking about the Come Together card, and I'm sure you know how well this fits already. This is kind of like the Two of Cups. So this resembles union, coming together. This person thinks a lot about how you two are going to come closer and closer together. So this person, it really depends what stage that you're at in your particular phase with this person so far. So again, I'm just going to point out all the different options. It is a general reading, but for example, depending on what stage you two are at, this person constantly thinks about when are we going to see each other next? Like, for example, every time that you two are apart, they constantly think about, when am I going to see this person next? They also think about when are we going to reach the next phase of our relationship? Like, how is this going to unfold? They're very curious. I don't think that they're trying to rush it, but I think that they think about it a lot, because again, this person isn't trying to rush anything. They're trying to not, come across too strong. They don't want to ruin it. They're expressing the right amount to where it's not feeling like it's rushed, and we're not going to create like a toxic, super surge of emotions and then lack of anything. This person is very aware about how this is unfolding, but they're constantly thinking about, how is it going to unfold? What is our next interaction going to be like? What are we going to do next? This person really thinks about how they can be the best for you. They think about, how can I make, the right choices to where we are still coming together, and that I can be the best person for this person, and, we can continue doing this. This card also talks about the fact that I think this person thinks about marriage with you if you're not married yet. For example, again, it is a general reading. This person thinks about, what's it going to be like when we move in together? What is it going to be like when we have our first baby together, if that's something that you guys want? Again, it is a general reading. I'm just pointing out all the different, possibilities of, for examples of what this person kind of thinks about. But again, it is going to differ slightly depending on how far you are in this relationship and what your relationship dynamic is with this person. But I can definitely guarantee they think about the next stages with you. They're constantly thinking about that. They're constantly thinking about, when am I going to see them next, and what is it going to be like? How is it going to progress further? I think this person gets really excited through little movements forward, like little moments that bring you two together closer. This person constantly thinks about what's going to happen next that's going to bring us even closer, because this person gets really excited about that. They get excited when they know you deeper. They get really excited when they get to experience something that's kind of like a little crumb towards the future, Like, for example, maybe you say something like I don't know, dropping a hint about something, for example, something in the future with you two. Maybe you two are passing by something and you see two people getting married, and then, your partner points out isn't that so cute? And then you're like, do you ever want to get married one day? And then they're like, yeah. This person gets excited about those things, okay? They the little enticing little hints and little talks that kind of just bring you two closer together. They get really excited about that, to say the least. So we also have this Golden Palace card. This person really feels like they've won the lottery when it comes to you. And they think the world of you, to be honest. They really do. They think you're a total, I don't know, gem. They feel like they've won the lottery with you, to say the least. So yeah, they feel like this is making me think of the words king and queen. Because it's a palace, so I don't know, that those words just came to my head. But they do feel very high when they're around you, and they feel like this is like a great match. They feel like, yeah, like they feel very high up, like almost nothing can bring them down when they are around you or when they think about you. They feel very high, and they feel like they also put a lot of worth towards you and them. The Golden Palace can also symbolize commitment. The Come Together card can symbolize commitment and, you know, a very solid future, because, you know, it's gold. It's very high value. They put a lot of high value on this partnership and relationship. So this is looking so beautiful so far, group number 2, my goodness. With that being said, the next 2 cards, we have the card here of victory. So this person thinks about the fact that, again, they've won the lottery with you, Golden Palace, victory, and look at all this gold wreath that we have over here. This person, and I cannot reiterate this enough, feels like they've won the lottery with you. They're like, wow, I cannot even believe what I've created here. And again, they value it very high. Victory, I also think that they imagine in their heads, you know, certain scenarios playing out and getting to their goals. They have a lot of goals with you in their head that maybe they haven't even fully expressed yet, but they have some goals with you that they're very excited about. We also have the Angel of Balance. So they're trying to remain balanced, and I think that's why they haven't expressed too much about this so far, because they're trying to remain like calm, balanced, and they want to keep a balanced relationship. And they also very much think about you and them. They don't ever want to put themselves first or put you first. They want to have a good balance. They want to have a balance between, you know, everything in life. They don't want to hold you back from anything. They don't want to feel held back from anything. I feel like this person is really interested in having a very good relationship with you, and again, keeping it very balanced. And also the balance can also point out that this person only wants to go as far as you want. They don't want to push it further. So for example, like if it doesn't feel right to say something super deep that they're thinking about, they're not going to say it. This person might wait until you open up a little bit, and then they open up a little bit, and maybe like 1% more. You know, it's always just like slight little increments, because they don't want to tip the scales too far. You know, they always want to remain in balance. They want to remain on the same page as you. So they might wait, you know, and you two sort of like have this good balance of like, I'm going to express a little bit more. And then this person's like, okay, I'm going to express just a little bit more. And then I'm going to express a little bit more. They always want to keep it like balanced, you know, without, again, like just expressing everything at once and then the scales all of a sudden tip and it's just like, whoa. They don't want to do that. They want to, again, keep things very balanced. The next 2 cards, we have the Warrior card. This person is very determined when it comes to you. Also, the swords always symbolize our mind and our thoughts. So this person, again, this is reiterating that this person thinks about you quite a bit, which is, again, the topic of this video, so obviously. But then we also have the Weaver. This person is ready to cut out anything in their life that they need to. They're willing to make sacrifices for you. And they often think about, you know, like, so that, for example, they might have had ties to their past when they first met you. They might have still had ties to their past. This person has been cutting that out in order to weave their future with you. This person is willing to make certain sacrifices to weave the perfect future with you. And they're completely wrapped up in you. Like, look at this card. This is a wrapped up energy right here. So they're ready to be fully immersed with you, is what I'm gathering from this reading. Again, it is going to be slightly different for each of you since it is a general reading, but they're very much caught up in you. They want to be with you. They want to, they really want to be a part of your life. And again, they're really, look at this knife between here. They're willing to cut out anything that they need to in order to make this work. Yeah, because they just really respect you. I think that this person has a lot of respect for you. So yeah, wow. This person is also very strong now. They're a much stronger person than what they used to be. But you might not have even known that if you didn't know them in their past, but they're much stronger now than what they used to be. They're much more like, I don't know, just determined and strong and mature, and it's really nice. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take this deck of cards right here. We're going to shuffle them and try to get some more info on this reading for you. So group number 2, let's see what else we get. The person that cannot stop thinking about, oh, look at, we have the passion card. I'm not even surprised. We also have security. This person wants to make you feel safe. Like, this person really wants to prove to you, like, you can feel safe and vulnerable around me. And then I think they're also waiting to feel that fully around you. And I think that they do feel that. They feel very secure around you. But again, they're taking it slow because they're aware of how fast things can change and whatnot. And they don't want things to change. They want it to be really great. And this person does feel very passionately about you. And they probably think about those types of things with you. But they want you to feel safe. Right? They're not here to pressure you. This person, I feel like, is not here to hurt you, and they're very aware of, you know, your feelings and your heart, and they want to keep that safe. Like, this person is very much like wanting to put in all of the effort and all that. So yeah, this person who's thinking about you seems like a very solid person. Group 2, like, congratulations. This seems like a very, very solid person that you can trust. They very much want you to trust them and feel solid and create something very lasting. Let's see what else we get here for group 2. Woo! Expectation. Ooh. Let's see what else we get here. Connected. Makes sense. And grounded. So I think that this person has quite high hopes for this relationship, is what I'm getting from this expectation card, is that this person has quite high hopes. And they also want another thing I'm getting from this is they don't want to have surprises in this relationship. I think this person's trying to be very upfront with you about quite a few things so that you know what to expect. And things like that. So maybe when you first met this person, they kind of like really wanted to at least, you know, let you on of a few important things so that you knew what to expect. Because I don't think that this person enjoys like surprises down the road. Grounded also makes me feel like that. And then the connected card is just, I feel like this person feels like you two are growing from the same stem, basically. And they feel extremely like connected with you. So that one just sort of reiterates the connection that you two have. Let's see if we can get any last cards with this last pile of cards, this last deck. Let's see. Group number 2. What else? What other last information do we have for group number 2? Earth magic, the fairies card. This group is magical. What was I telling you? I had the magician, we had the 2 of cups, we had the hermit. This pile is magical, to say the least. We also had one fall on the floor here. Let's see, we have the autumnal equinox release. I think this person has a lot more deeper emotion. Ooh, and they will eventually be expressing that. So the fact that we have the autumn card of release talks about the fact that this person has a lot of emotions that they're very excited to be able to express and release to you. And I think that they will be, because we also have this volcano card. This person has a lot of feelings towards you. And it's really building up, but I think it's building up mostly in a good way. Of course, like, we should always be open and honest about our feelings, because that's always the best, but I think this person very much just doesn't want to rush it, and they want to keep this innocence alive and whatnot, but they have some really, really deep feelings and stuff that they're very excited about, and their emotions go deeper than you think. And they will be expressing that very shortly, I feel like. This earth magic, I feel like they just feel like this whole relationship is just very magical. Very magical. Yeah, and I think you bring out their like childish sense again, their fun, adventurous, like innocent side again. And they almost feel like, they just feel like this is so brand new and so different than anything they've ever experienced before, that they're very innocent in this type of feeling, because it's just something that I don't think they've ever had a relationship or a love interest like this before. So you make them feel like a kid again. So that's what we have here for you. Group number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And I would love to see you there. And hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 3, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading all about who can't stop thinking about you. So let's get right into it. All right, so group number 3, here's what we have for you. We have the Chariot, the Tower, the Knight of Wands, the Empress. We have 3 major arcanas right here. We have the 4 of Wands and then the 8 of Pentacles here. So let's talk about what all of this is representing. So first off, what I want to mention is something a little bit more niche that I don't think is going to apply to everyone. But again, it is a general reading, so I just really want to point out all the different options that I'm seeing right here. But for some of you, whenever the Empress comes up, I'm always thinking about mother. And when it's next to the 4 of Wands, I'm thinking about your family. So for one, I think your family thinks about you a lot, and I think your mom sometimes thinks, or at least like a mother figure or somebody who's really close to you in your family, often wonders like what it would be like to just, I don't know, like make some sort of sacrifice and make some sort of choice to move closer to you. I don't know why I'm getting that for some of you. But there's also a romantic aspect of this that we're going to get into in just a second, but I just want to mention all the different layers I'm seeing for all of the different people that are watching this, just so we can have an all-encompassing reading that includes all the different sort of interpretations of these cards. So the first off interpretation that I wanted to mention, which is a very quick one, is just that I think your family sometimes thinks about you, mostly your parents, and they often wonder about like making a big leap in order to either support you more or to be closer to you, like making some sort of sacrifice on their end to really help you. They often think about that. So that's like one of the aspects that I'm thinking of here. They really just want to see you do your best. Okay? They really want to see you do your best. And they're probably already very proud of you, and yeah, anyway, that's one aspect of this. But there's also a romantic aspect that I'm seeing for those of you where this is going to apply romantically. And for those of you that chose this pile, I think that there's a lot of people thinking about you, including your family and possibly also including a love interest, okay? So another aspect that I'm getting from here in terms of like a love interest would be possibly somebody who lives at a bit of a distance from you, because the Chariot can often resemble distance or it can resemble a choice, okay? And I think that this person often wonders about, you know, leaving behind what they have and taking a leap of faith to just see how this is gonna work out romantically, most likely. I think that this either deals with family or with somebody romantically. So we're going to get into the romantic aspect of this. But yeah, this person has choices in front of them. They can either kind of stay where they are and keep going life the same way, but they often wonder about what it would be like to kind of like say F it and make a huge choice and also kind of like a huge risk to move, because the Knight of Wands is a spontaneous choice and can often resemble moving. The Tower can resemble, you know, the destruction of what we've built up thus far in our life. So this person often wonders like, should I just say F it and move and like really start to create abundance with this person? And the 4 of Wands resembles moving in together. So I think this person thinks about moving in together, or this can also resemble celebrations such as weddings, engagements, things like that. So I think this person also often wonders about like, oh, should I just like leave behind what I have? And maybe it's something that's not really easy for them to leave behind. Like maybe, for example, they're attached to a lease. Maybe, for example, they have other obligations in the city that they live in, such as a job or, you know, whatever. But they often wonder, should I just take a leap? Should I take a chance? And even if maybe you don't really talk to this person very, very deeply, like for example, some of you might know this person through like a bit of a distant relation, like a distance relationship, long distance. Some of you might also not even know each other very well yet. And maybe this person's also thinking about, should I just make a move? Should I just make my intentions known? I think that this person who's thinking about you might often think about, moving in or taking the next step or engagements or things like that. And they're just like, should I spontaneously do it? Should I, like, I don't know, should I do it? The Empress can sometimes resemble children and pregnancies, and so can the Four of Wands. So these next to each other, this person might also think about having babies with you, starting a family with you. I think this person thinks about all the sorts of different things. But I also think that it kind of might disrupt their current plan a little bit in life. Like, I don't know, maybe they, for example, really like where they live, or they really like the job that they have, but they know in order to be with you, in order to start something with you, one of you might have to make some sort of big sacrifice in order for you two to be together. Because again, maybe there's some distance, or maybe there's like some conflicting, I don't know, something here that's maybe a bit harder to get to each other. So this person often thinks about breaking that and just being with you. They often think about the spontaneity in it. I think they get very excited about this feeling whenever they do think about it. The Empress here resembles lots of abundance and ideas brewing, pregnancy even. And just feeling really good. I think this person wants to shower you with goodness. This person sees you as somebody who has it all, and they think that you are, really the person for them because you sort of fit everything that they desire, which makes them very excited. They really want to work towards this, and they think, you know what, I can like rebuild all these other things in my life. Like if I have to like quit my job and, ruin some of my life in order to, ruin is not the right word. If they have to sort of, make some sacrifices, that's the right word. Making sacrifices in order to be with you, they're kind of like, well, I can rebuild that. I can find new things to get excited about. Maybe they have to move and then they're like, oh, I have to make new friends, I have to find a new job, I have to, find new foundations of things. This person often thinks like, you know what, I think I could make that work, right? The Eight of Pentacles, but it will take work. They realize that it's not going to be necessarily the easiest thing because there's lots of things that they would have to figure out in order to make it work. So I think that you're on this person's mind a lot, and they always wonder like, okay, is there an easier route, or is the only route one that either of us would have to make certain sacrifices in order to be together? So I think that they often wonder that, but again, there is this like spontaneous, energetic excitement that comes along with this. I think they get really excited when they think about their future with you and creating a foundation with you, because these two cards are very opposite, and they also land very similarly, because this is like the second card in and this is the second card out. And these two are very much correlated in the sense that this card means the destroying of a foundation, and this card is the creation of a foundation. This card is a choice. So this person can make a choice to either continue their current foundation, but they also feel like it wouldn't be as fulfilling for them because they would eventually get to a tipping point where they're just like, F it, I just really want to be with you. I feel like they don't see their current life as long-term if it's without you. And they often think like, hey, my life would actually be happier with you. So they're almost realizing like, hey, it's worth the sacrifice. So yeah, it's worth the risk. And maybe this person also just, something about this relationship is about taking a risk or making a sacrifice and stepping out of certain boundaries and barriers and creating new foundations and all that. So lots of energy behind this card. This is a powerful kind of energy that we have here with this person, group number 3. So yes, they're also sort of waiting for the right moment they're almost waiting for a sign to just leave everything behind and go in this direction. They're almost waiting for something to happen because they feel like, I don't know, it's sort of culminating to this point anyway, to this point where it's like, we're just going to have to like make some sacrifices and be together in order for you two to maybe move in together. Maybe you two are going to be moving somewhere completely different. This can also be buying property. Yeah, and getting a new job in order to be together. All sorts of different things. Like this is there's a lot going on here. And the Tower card here very well represents how much is going on in this sort of, in this person's mind. So this person who's thinking about you, they think about all sorts of different things. And yeah, they really want it to work out to its best, and they really want to create a solid new foundation whenever they think about you. They want to create a new foundation. So yes, that is what we have going on over here. The next card that we have, this is going to represent the energy of the entire sort of dynamic between you two, and the energy of, you know, this person's thoughts. We have the Destiny card. So I think this person feels like you two are meant to be together, so they're almost willing to make certain sacrifices because they feel like it's all part of the bigger picture and that you are very worth it to them. And it says, all that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be shown. So I think they're also asking for the universe to make a path, the Chariot, because they almost have gotten to this point where they're like, there's a certain obstacle that's stopping you two from being together. There's a certain obstacle here, and they're almost asking the universe, like, show us the way. Like, how do we get beyond this obstacle? How do we get beyond this point so that we can continue forward? And they're just waiting for destiny and fate to kind of like take its path, right? So that they can continue moving forward with you. They might also be waiting for, yeah, certain signs from the universe or certain signs from you maybe. So yeah, this person's sort of just waiting for that. And the Tower card almost resembles destiny because the lightning bolt that's coming down, like the lightning bolt, that's such a fated chance, right? So almost waiting for like, this person's waiting for like destiny to come into play here to kind of show us like, where are we supposed to be? What sacrifices are we supposed to make? When are we supposed to make these sacrifices? So all of these different things, they're sort of just waiting for a sign, and waiting for things to progress in that way, waiting for things to brew, because the Empress is also, you know, we have a bun in the oven, right? That's kind of like the gist of the energy of the Empress. So we sort of have an idea that's brewing, we have a destiny that's brewing, and the path just needs to make itself clear, because we're clearly like, you know, brewing something is cultivating here, and we're just waiting for it to cultivate enough for it to, you know, be known about how we get there, so that we have a clear path. So with that being said, the next two cards that we have here, we have the Home card. So maybe this person's definitely thinking about living with you, or they're thinking about their home life with you. They're thinking about maybe certain sacrifices that need to be made around home life for some reason. And again, if this has to deal more with family, I'm going to put this card over here actually so that you can see it better. If this reading has to deal with family more, then I think your family's also thinking about like either about you moving out and how that's going to be, and they might be thinking about like being worried about you, or they might be thinking like maybe you're somebody who lives far away and your family's also thinking about, should we just move down there so we can be closer to them, da 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 da. But back to the romance side of things. This person, this romantic partner, interest, if you're in a relationship with them, whatever, I think they think about their home life with you and commitment. So they might also be thinking a lot about engagements or weddings. The Four of Wands can be engagements and weddings. Commitment is also another symbol of that. So yeah, I think this person realizes that, you know, certain things need to change, possibly with where you two live. Your home life is going to change a lot, but I think this person also feels just very committed to you, and they're very committed to like making this work, and they realize like, hey, it might take some work, but it's worth it. It's worth it for this person. So yeah, and like look at all these hearts flowing in. Like this person's very much like they want their future with you. They're making shifts in their life that they didn't know that maybe they would have to make, but they're just like, you know what, this is worth it. I am more excited about my future there than where it currently is. So yes, very beautiful stuff. I'm also noticing that we have a number 9 here and a number 9 here on these cards. numerologically, both of these are 9s, which talk about completing phases. So they're almost at this part where they are completing a certain chapter of their life and they're ready to open up a new chapter with you. They're ready to open up a new chapter with you. They're ready for a deeper commitment. They're ready for the next stage, the next, this person's very committed to you and they're ready to close out this old chapter where they were on a different path in order to be on the path with you. The next 2 cards, we have the card here of envy. I think that this person often gets maybe envious of others who have it easier, or possibly even, envious of others who have it easier because this reading talks about the fact that there's some sort of sacrifice that one of you is going to have to make in order for you to be together. And I think it does have to deal with distance for the most part. I think this person's often like envious of those who have it easier. But at the same time, they're still very happy to have you. I don't think that this person feels a bunch of negative emotion around this relationship. I just think that they often think like, wow, that would have been so much nicer if it was easier. But at the same time, they're way more happy to have you than not. So yeah. Then we also have woman holding a coin. So this talks about commitment as well as abundance, as well as like a commitment to a future, manifesting material stuff, gaining material stuff. So this can talk about moving, or about the solidity, like the fact that there's this sort of more solid commitment between both of you. This can also indicate that maybe a job will have to change, or maybe one of you is going to have to move because the other is getting a job offer. And so this person's constantly thinking about that. Maybe we're thinking about that. Yeah, there's something here where there's something material that one of us is going to have to make a sacrifice for the other person, but at the same time, it's still worth it for you both. So, yeah. Next 2 cards, we had the card of ancestors. So you two feel a very deep connection with each other, possibly even a past life connection. This person thinks about their roots with you. They think about the long term with you. And they think about creating a foundation. Like, what does that foundation look like and where do you want to root yourselves? We have a lot of stuff coming up here around home life. So maybe a lot of like this person's constantly thinking about home life and where they want to really root themselves in order to be successful. Where are you two going to be the most successful? Does it require you to move or them to move or whatnot? Because there's a lot of home cards, so I just really feel like there's something significant here around moving that's on their mind and where to root themselves. Then we also have the card here of love. This person feels very strong feelings about you, which, I mean, obviously, throughout this reading, I feel like that's obvious by now. But yeah, this person definitely feels strong feelings about you, strong enough to where they're willing to make those sacrifices. And again, they're just trying to figure out what's best for both of you and where exactly you two are going to be rooted in the future. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and shuffle some more cards to get some more information on this reading. So group 3, some more info. Respect. This person really respects you and they really want the best for both of you. I don't think that this person is like narcissistic or manipulative or has too big of an ego where they're like, oh, well, you need to make the sacrifice, not me. Because like this person has total respect for you where I think that they want this to be a very mutual decision and really just figure out what's best for both of you. So I think that's the kind of conundrum that you two are reaching, is like trying to figure out what is best for both of you. So let's see if we can get another card. Effort. Yeah, this person's definitely willing to put in what it takes. They're willing to put in the effort. They're willing to water the grass in a new garden in order to make that grow. Like they want to make it the best that it can be. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take these next cards. Let's see what else we get here for you. So group 3, we have balance. So this person's trying to make it balanced, especially since that came up reversed. This person's trying their best to make this a balanced choice. We also have unconditional. It's so cute. this person wants it to be a balanced choice, but they also feel like it's almost impossible because, like, yeah, they're trying to figure out a fair solution. I also have the card connected. That's been coming up for so many piles. But yeah, unconditional. I feel like there's a lot of unconditional love here where this person's going to love you regardless of how things turn out, regardless of where you live, regardless of like what job they have, whatnot. I think there's a lot of beautiful unconditional love here. They just feel very connected to you. And again, we have the tree here, which symbolizes those roots. So another thing talking about your foundation with this person, they want to create a solid foundation and they're holding it and they're just like, okay, where do we plant it though? So that's again been the big kind of focus, is where to plant yourselves. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take our last deck to get any last information. We have Vision Quest. So this person's been very much visualizing how your future is going to be. I think that this person has been trying to get through the fog and gain some clarity. So they've been almost playing out different scenarios in their head of how this could turn out. You know, they've been thinking about all the different options and playing it out like a movie in their mind to try to see like what the best solution would be, what the best outcome would be. But maybe they haven't even like fully talked to you about that yet. Maybe they're thinking more than they're speaking about it right now. Maybe it's been more on their mind than you currently know or think. We also have emergence. Ooh, so I think that this topic is going to begin to emerge a lot more in your relationship soon. Yeah, I think these ideas are going to begin to emerge a lot more over time. In fact, quite soon. I feel like within the next 3 months for some reason, for most of you. I feel like within the next 3 months that these topics are going to begin to emerge a lot more in order to gain clarity. And I think you two are going to be visualizing it and kind of thinking about it together. But for now, this person's just kind of thinking about like, okay, when do I bring this up? When is the right time to really talk about this? And they almost want to have the answer figured out before bringing it up because they don't want to seem like they haven't thought about it enough when they bring it up. They want to be able to, you know, have good reasons and kind of think this through prior to really, you know, speaking about all their different thoughts about it. They want to have actual thoughts about it before, you know, bringing it up. So they're trying to just like kind of think about it prior and whatnot. But this person's like, I feel like constantly thinking about you and thinking about bringing up this topic of conversation. So that is what we have there. Group number 3, group number 3, that is what we have here for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll be happy to see you there and hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 4, if you chose this group, this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 4, here's what we have for you. We have the 8 of Cups, we have the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords. Lots of sword cards here, and also some Pentacles. You know, we got a whole thing to talk about over here. Also, excuse me if I'm talking funny, I just had like a bunch of jalapenos for breakfast. Don't know why I did that, but it was basically like fried jalapenos on toast, but I cut up like an entire jalapeno to put it on my toast and my mouth is on fire. So if I talk a little bit funny, that would be why. And I'm going to keep sipping water between it, even though it's not really helping. But anyway, let's get into your reading. So basically, the 8 of Pentacles represents that the person who thinks about you a lot is somebody who recently left a lot behind in their life and they're sort of replanting their life and renewing their life right now. This could be somebody who you've had a past with, or it could just be somebody like you've already known from your past, but they're just going through a major transition in their life right now. Or again, they could be going through this transition because of a history with you. So this could be an ex, for example, or again, it just could be somebody who's going through a major transition in their life. and they basically left behind something that they were emotionally very attached to. Like they could be going through a breakup, for example, or they again might be going through a breakup with you, either or. But I think you'll know who this is based on your own personal circumstance and situation. It is a general reading, so I just want to point out all of the different things that I'm seeing here, just to make it all encompassing for all of those of you who are watching this. So we're just going to be going through, all the interpretations. But basically, this person has been feeling emotionally like they've had to go through a lot of recovering, and they're going through a lot of recovering right now, but they're not fully back to themselves yet. But they are sort of like starting fresh. The Seven of Pentacles is this card where they're basically planting the seeds for their future, and they're trying to start fresh. Like I keep hearing in my head, they're starting fresh. And they're trying to let go of their past. They're, moving on from that. And they're doing, honestly, a pretty good job considering, but they're just at an odd phase in their life right now. But I think that they've been thinking about reaching out to you. So whether or not you've had a past with them or not, I feel like for most of you, this is somebody who is going through their own kind of shit right now. I don't think it's really correlated to you, but then there are some of you where this might be an ex, for example. But they're sort of just going through stuff in their own life, and they've debated multiple times reaching out to you. Like maybe this person has been away for a while, or maybe you two haven't talked for a while because they went on a hiatus and they're sort of like just starting fresh in their life now. And this fresh start has been making them think about you. This fresh beginning that they've had, where I think that they've recently gone through a breakup, okay? And they can't stop thinking about you, and they've debated multiple times of reaching out to you. That's why we have this Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles symbolizes this internal debate that they've been having, where they're either like, do I do it? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not? And the picture that I'm getting in my head is them sitting with those, when they sit with a flower and they're plucking off the petals, and they're like, I text them. I don't text them. I text them. I don't text them. I text them. I feel like they're going through that in their mind. And yeah, they've definitely just debated reaching out to you to see how you're doing. This could also be somebody who's, for example, just another aspect or another layer to this. This could also be maybe you going through something. They've debated reaching out to you to see how you're doing. Or maybe both of you are going through something, and maybe that's why this person is like, should I talk to them? I kind of want to, but is that awkward? Is that weird? Are they going to not want to talk to me? I feel like there's a lot going through this person's mind. Like maybe you two haven't really had a connection for a while, or maybe you two in the past talked about not communicating anymore. So there's somehow a little bit of resistance around them reaching out to you. And maybe this resistance is just the fact that they're not really in a good place in their life, and maybe they're just thinking like, maybe I should wait before reaching out, But I'm definitely picking up on like a type of resistance here when it comes to communicating with you. There's been multiple times though with this Knight of Swords card that we have, there has been multiple times that they have almost acted on a whim of just being like, F it, I'm gonna send them a message, I'm gonna do it. And then all of a sudden they're just like, wait a minute, no. Because then we have this Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is like taking a step back, taking some time to reflect, and then they're like, right, maybe it's best not to. But I feel like they're constantly between this. And the Knight of Swords almost makes me think that this person has gone as far as writing out an entire message to you, and then they're so close to sending it, and then they're like, nope. Some of you might have even had some small little messages from them or something like that, but maybe it just didn't go anywhere. Some of you have probably not heard from this person yet, and are wondering like, do they think about me? Who knows? But I do think this is somebody that you've known in the past at some point. Whether they recently left your life or they left your life a little while ago. But this person, again, is going through a big transition in their life and constantly back and forth about reaching out to you. If you're wondering if they will eventually reach out to you, yes, we have the Ace of Swords that concludes how this is all gonna, play out. And this person will eventually reach out to you. The Ace of Swords is a very interesting one, though. So this can be the beginning and starting of a conversation, but it does also sometimes signify the closing out of the past. So even if they do reach out to you again, there's somehow it's going to be different than it was before. There's going to be a new type of communication than there was before, new clarity and new things that are being said, and almost a new approach to how they communicate with you. And this is for the better. Okay, so they don't want they don't want to be all clouded. They don't want to give you the wrong impression. This person's very particular on how you perceive them. This person, I think, thinks very highly of you, and they have changed a lot in the way that they see people and the way that they want to interact with people. This person's gone through deep changes because they themselves have gone through this massive transformation where they're almost restarting themselves, restarting their life, and planting new values. This person's planting new values in place. This person's planting new goals and new desires that they want to reach. I think this person's going through just a huge, huge, huge transformation. And because of that, they've debated reaching out to you, but at the same time, they don't want to be perceived as their past self because this person's changed so much, right? And so I think, again, they've been desiring reaching out, but then they're like, wait a minute, no, there's some hesitation around here. And again, this hesitation deals with time because this person's not yet fully healed. So there's been some hesitation around reaching out to you. But again, they want to reach out to you in a sense that they want a new, fresh slate to communicate with you. They don't want to talk about the past much. And even if they do, they'd rather communicate about it differently so that there's clarity around the situation. But they really want to be perceived as this new self that they're stepping into, because I think they're trying really hard to recreate their life and set brand new foundations, brand new goals, and all that kind of stuff. And they really don't want to be perceived as their past self. And I know I keep reiterating that, but I think that this person really wants to make that clear. Also, look at these little messenger birds too. I think this person's also curious about you, and they ask about you to people that they know, and they like hearing about you. So the Knight of Swords, just the fact that there's these messenger birds here, this definitely makes me also think that they hear little things about you, and you probably might also hear little things about them too, here and there, just out of mutual friends, mutual people. This could also be social media. This person might look at your social media in order to see where you're at, because again, they're trying to get a bird's eye view of like where you're at in your life, things like that. So I do think this person looks at your social media if you have it, or they just hear about you from, again, mutual people, with those little messenger birds. So that's another little aspect that I'm getting there. But again, they keep reaching this roadblock, this resistance, but eventually I do think they will be reaching out to you. So with that being said, let's get into the next card. This next card is going to represent the overall energy of this person and you, and sort of this connection between you and them. And it's very interesting. We have this card, Magical Powers. So this Phoenix Rising, this is actually this message correlates to this so much. I can't even believe we have this card here. This is wild. I love when the tarot and oracle cards just work together to make a very powerful, over-encompassing like reading. And this card right here absolutely does that for this group. So the Phoenix rising from the ashes, something burned down in their life recently, or even in your life, both of your lives, whatever. And look they're coming out stronger than ever. They're coming out as a brand new person, and that's exactly what we have here with the Eight of Cups and then the Seven of Pentacles. That's exactly what we have here. So this is a perfect representation of, how this person's wanting to transform. This person is wanting to be somebody completely new, and they're also becoming somebody completely new, which is why they've debated multiple times like reaching out to you, because they're really curious where you're at in your life, and they're curious maybe what your situation or relationship could be like now that you've both sort of come to this new place in your life. So this person's constantly wondering about that, or they just want to know, how you're doing, right? And they also want you to see how much they've transformed, at the very least. So this person's definitely curious that you're on their mind a lot. They want to make sure that you're doing okay, which is I think why they ask about you a lot, and also why they constantly debate reaching out to you. So yeah, And they definitely think about you quite a lot. Obviously, which is why we have the topic of this video. But anyway, the next two cards that we have here, we have the card of Spark and Gentle Gardener. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna put these down. I also wanted to quickly mention with magical powers, I think this person is, you two have a very spiritual connection as well. You two can almost feel each other still and like feel the connection between you two. Is what I'm gathering from this, and you can kind of tell, like, maybe you can feel the energy, like this person is really transforming and this person feels the same about you. So yeah, that's another aspect of the magical powers. There's kind of like an intuitive connection between you both. So we also have this Spark card over here. So this person, whenever they think about you, it's like it kind of lights them up a little bit. Like they get a little bit of a spark and they get energized when they think about you, which is why they're so close to messaging you all the time. I feel like when they think about messaging you and they type you out a message, I think that they get this whole spark, and it's this spark of excitement, but then there's this huge resistance that they have where they're like, oh wow, like that's a big leap to do that right now, at least from the place that they're currently in, because they're rising from the ashes right now, and just to leap into, communicating with you for them kind of feels like this big sort of resistance, right? But they do feel a spark every time they think about you. I feel like you kind of light them up and you light up their curiosity. They're very curious about you, and they're getting a spark every time that they think about you, like a deep spark, honestly. You also might have been the reason why they're going through multiple changes as well, because this Phoenix rising from the ashes are caused from fire, and fire is caused from like the spark of a lot of energy. So I almost think that you are part of this spark that is transforming them into this Phoenix who's becoming like so much better, so much more powerful, really starting to own themselves and change and become like a better version, a new version of themselves. They're going through huge transformations. We also do have this Gentle Gardener card. So this person is trying to bring out their gentle side as well. And I think when they think about you, they want to be more gentle. So I don't know what your past was. It's going to be different for each of you. But the approach that they want to have with you is very gentle now. Like they don't want to hurt you. But they almost feel, I'm getting a total message here because of these sword cards, whenever they feel like reaching out to you, they're so scared of hurting you by reaching out to you. They're so scared of getting into, I don't know, like they're either scared of hurting you, they're scared of rejection of themselves, they're scared of, like, they don't want to ruin your life by any means, they don't want to cause more pain than necessary, right? So I feel like they're trying to be very gentle. But at the same time, when they're reaching out to you, they're scared that they're not being gentle when they reach out to you. But they desire to be gentle, and I think that they're slowly becoming more of a gentle person. And when they think about you as like, they think about you very highly, and they want to take care of you, and they want to make sure that you feel good. And I think a main reason why this person really wants to reach out to you is because they really want you to feel good. And they want to know where you're at, because I think this person cares about you so deeply that if you weren't feeling good, they would want to help you feel good. So, yeah. And they're also wanting to, like the gardener, when we garden something, we're trying to help it grow. So yeah, this person also almost desires to help you grow. And like, as we look at this person looking over these, they're looking at how you're growing, they're looking at how they're growing, they're being gentle with themselves, they're trying to be as calm and peaceful as possible with themselves as they go through whatever transition that they're currently going through. And again, I do think that they look at your social media quite often to see how you're doing. But yeah, maybe because you two have a past together, because I do feel like regardless if you've been in a relationship recently or not, or whatever, I do feel like you've had some sort of past together, and I feel like them reaching out to you, they're scared of kind of triggering the past in some way, or they're scared of that maybe you've moved on and it's going to hurt them or something, But yeah, they definitely debated reaching out to you. So with that being said, let's see the next few cards. Ooh, we have deceit. So maybe something here in the past between you two wasn't the greatest, or maybe one of you wasn't being fully honest. Something along the lines of this. It's very interesting that this card also sort of kind of correlates to this sort of rebirth, becoming new. This person wants to be better. So maybe this person wasn't the greatest when they were with you, for example. And they are trying to really work on that, and they don't want to be perceived as the same person, because I was feeling this sort of interesting energy that they don't want to be perceived as the same person that they once were. Then we also have the card here of the Magician and the Mirror. That's interesting. So I think that this person's been really looking at themselves, looking at their reflection, kind of seeing who they are. They've almost had it mirrored back to them recently, and they're sort of starting to gain clarity on like who they've been and the fact that they don't want to be the same person anymore. The Magician is also somebody who wants to rewrite something and change the way things are going. A magician can also be deceitful, though, because if you think about a magician, they have magic and they can sort of create illusions, right? So they're kind of almost realizing their own mistakes, or, you know, maybe there was mistakes on both ends for both of you, and they're sort of kind of gaining clarity that you weren't the only one at fault and they weren't the only one at fault, but they're seeing their own faults within this as well. They're accepting all of what happened. We also have yin yang, so they do feel a very good, like a very deep connection to you still. And we also have angel number 22 on here, which is very interesting. So they still feel a partnership with you. They still feel like a connection to you. They feel like whatever impact you had on them, they still carry it with them to this day. Just like the yin and yang symbols, like the white has a piece of the black in it and the black has a piece of the white in it, right? And that's the yin yang. So I think this person feels like you have had such an impact on them in their past, and they're going to take that with them forever. And they feel that, and they almost really want to reach out to you to let you know like what an impact you've had on their lives. Their life, I guess, not lives, but yeah. We also have this compassion card right here. So this person cares about you very deeply, and I think they want to express some deep emotions to you. So that one's a little bit more self-explanatory. We won't go into that one too in depth. But yeah, we also have release. This person really wants to release a lot of their emotions. There's a lot kind of pent up that I feel like they want to speak about and talk about with you to release. They also want to make a leap, because the frog is like leaping from one lily pad to the other. So this person also kind of debates on making that leap to talk to you in order to kind of release this sort of pent up energy that they have about wondering and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and shuffle this next deck. Hold on. Let's go ahead and shuffle this next deck of cards to see if we can get some more info on this reading. So group number 4, the person who's constantly thinking about group 4. Security. Yeah, they have your best interests at mind now, so it seems. They want to make you feel good. I would use caution around this person though, because it does seem like somehow there was some sort of maybe deceit in the past or not full honesty. Right? So I'd still use caution, but they don't want to hurt you. And I don't think this person's intentionally being deceitful or anything like that. I think they're doing their best because they really don't want to hurt you. But at the same time, like, honesty is always the best no matter what. And it's good to only be honest, but yeah, this person, their intentions around you, they really don't want to hurt you, at least now. So let's see what else we get here. Respect. I do think that they've gained a lot of respect for you over the time that you two have had and through the transition that this person is having now. And we also have support. So this person wants to uplift you. They want to see you do well. which is, I think, the main reason why they really want to reach out to you again, why they've debated reaching out to you, is that they want to see you doing well and they want to make sure that you're doing well. And I think they really want to catch up with you, is what I'm hearing. They want to catch up. We also have the card here of joy. I think you really light up this person when they think about you. The spark and the joy, like you really light up this person when they think about you. And I think there's a lot that they want to express, because this also deals with, there's a lot that they desire to express. We also have the Now card. I do think you're going to hear from this person soon. I really do. And we have the Vibration card. I think this person's also waiting until the vibe is right. Until they feel at their energetic best. I think that's when this person is going to reach out to you, is when they're feeling much better and when they've healed much more. But they're thinking about you a lot. Like, I think you're the person that they most think about in their day. So with that being said, let's see any last info for this reading. So we have the release, and we have the release card here. I'm not even surprised. So there's lots on their chest that they want to get off of their chest. I'm definitely hearing that they have lots to get off of their chest. They have apologies that they want to make. They have like clarity that they want to give you. We have the Green Man of Synergy. I think that this person, yes, I mean, they want a deep talk with you. They want to, add closure to the past. And the Synergy card is they really want to have balance between you and them. They want to clear the connection. They don't want to feel negatively about the past. I also think that whether or not you were the cause of their hurt or not, there's still like things that they have on their chest that they really want to say to you. They had things that they really want to say to you and release and get off their chest. And like, I think that they're completing a phase of their life right now. They're going through a completion. If they're an ex, I feel like they want closure with you. If they're not an ex, and they're just going through their own stuff right now, I think that this person has interest in you and they really want to close out their past and kind of create synergy for a future with you. Yeah, that is what we have there. So, pile number 4. That was a beautiful reading. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's what we have there for you. If you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And I hope to see you there. Bye. All right, so group number 5, if you chose this group, then this is going to be a reading. So let's hop right into it. So group 5, what a reading that we have here for you. I'm just getting vibes off the bat, and this is going to be a reading. I'm excited to get into this. So yeah, there's a lot of intense energy here, and I feel like this person really they have a lot to say. But yeah, let's just talk about what we have over here first. So we have the Hangman, we have the 5 of Inspiration, which is the 5 of Wands. We also have the Page of Materials, which is the Page of Pentacles. We also have the 9 of Voices, which is the 9 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. So what I'm getting over here for you guys, group 5, is that you may have recently or sometime in the past have had a falling out with someone. And I think that this person was very close to you at one point. I'm getting that this was mostly a friendship level. This could have been romantic as well. Just so you know, this definitely could have been romantic. I'm getting mostly a friendship vibe from this. But yeah, so basically this person feels very stuck right now. We have the Hangman right here, and this says that this person is like seeing things from a new perspective, and they're sort of understanding the situation more. They're gaining clarity on it. They've been doing a lot of reflection lately, and they they see things from a new perspective. Whereas before, you know, whenever you had your falling out is because of maybe a lack of communication or a lack of understanding between you both, a lack of understanding of this situation that you were in. And this person is now, they've been doing tons of reflection on this, and they've been doing a lot of like growth and integrating of, you know, what probably happened or what went wrong here. The Five of Inspiration shows up, and the Five of Inspiration, which is the Five of Wands, is kind of like debates or not seeing eye to eye on something. So somehow you and this person did not see eye to eye, and it caused this sort of falling out. And it is a general reading, so I don't want to put time frames on this because it's going to be a little bit different for each of you that are listening to this. This could have been like a childhood friend. This could have been like a friend from school. This could have been a friend from college. This could have been a friend recently within the past, like, you know, year or a few months even, you know. But or it could have even been a relationship as well. This could have also been like a romantic partnership that had a falling out. But again, for the most part, I'm feeling that this was more friendship level for some reason. But again, it could have been either or. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, or the Page of, I don't know why I was missing the P and I said Ace of Materials. That is the Page of Materials, Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, this person has debated, you know, reaching out to you and stepping forward, but it's been kind of a slow process for them. It's also been a kind of slow process of, you know, integrating what they've been learning. And I think that they're still just on the forefront of kind of learning, you know, what happened and what went wrong. And they're still trying to kind of figure it out. And I feel like they've been mostly trying to figure it out on their own. And they're only kind of scratching the surface of it, but they have done quite a bit of learning so far, and they have definitely transformed themselves from who they used to be, and they've definitely done some learning. They haven't reached the most mature place yet, just because the pages are the beginning of that journey, whereas the king is like very mature. If we had the king showing up, that would be somebody who's learned a lot and integrated the whole thing. But I think this person still kind of like has some learning to do, and I think it's because you two are out of communication right now is what I'm feeling from this. I don't feel like you two are in communication at least much right now, or at least it's not been the best type of communication at the very least. It hasn't offered much clarity basically, but this person is learning and growing, and they're thinking about you constantly. Like this person, I think, constantly thinks about what was said between you two right before this sort of falling out, and they constantly replay it in their heads. Like this person's stuck on you. This person is stuck on you, constantly replaying what happened and what went through their head. And they're kind of like stuck in this perpetual state. Like they're literally stuck on it. They're hung up on it. Like they're literally hung up on it. Just as this depiction shows, she's like hung up on this string, which shows that she's kind of like hung up on, you know, what this is, she or he, right? But it also keeps them up at night. The Nine of Voices, which is the Nine of Swords, they almost can't even sleep at night because they're constantly thinking about it. They're constantly thinking about it. This person I don't think they've gone like a full hour in their day without thinking about this or without thinking about you. I think this still gives them anxiety to this day. Like, I feel like they still have anxiety around this and stress around this because it's something that they're trying so difficult to understand. But I think that they're also sort of stuck in a difficult stage themselves, and so they're not really communicating their best. And I feel like even when you two have tried to communicate about this, it hasn't turned out the best. Even though this person, I feel like, really wants to sort it out at their core, but they're still kind of approaching it from a little bit of an immature space, to where whenever communication does happen around it, they've been a little bit kind of like standoffish, or they seem cold. Honestly, this person will come across cold, but it's because they're so hurt that they've sort of shut off their emotions, and they have a hard time admitting that they're wrong, is what I'm getting from this as well. But at the same time, it's so interesting because this person wants to figure it out, and I feel like they care so much about you still, and they're they're being really stubborn when it comes to like letting go of their hurt. They're being quite stubborn about it. And then the Page of Voices, which is the Page of Swords, the fact that we have two pages here, this person's being quite immature about this still, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it's still stress. Like the fact that they care about you so much that it's completely keeping them up at night, it just goes to show how much of an impact that this has had on them, and they're still completely hung up about it. But when it comes to admitting their faults or, you know, being able to talk about it in a mature way, they're still not there. They're somehow still not there. Like they're standoffish. They probably come across very cold again. They might use quite harsh words, because the Page of Voices can also be somebody who's not afraid to kind of use very gut-stabbing sort of words and comments and things like that. But at the same time, like it's so confusing, because like you might be wondering, like, why would they be like that if they cared about me so much, you know? But it's because I think they haven't matured in their emotions very much yet, or within their communication. In fact, both. They have not matured much within both. I think that they're going through a period of growth, though, and I think that this was so important for their growth, you know, the things that have happened between you two, because it's causing them to do a lot more reflection. And I don't think that they're going to be able to move forward until they learn how to communicate. Like, this is going to happen, and this is going to play out as a scenario in their life consistently with any relationship or person that they have in their life, until they learn this emotional maturity and this, like, how to communicate maturely. Because otherwise they're going to end up in the same scenario, because they're not changing their communication habits or their emotional habits, right? We also have the Seven of Voices here, which is the Seven of Swords. So they've been kind of maybe avoiding you. I feel like there's this avoidant energy. They've been avoiding the topic. They might be avoiding hearing the truth, or even avoiding conversation. So even if you've like tried to reach out, I feel like this person's been quite avoidant, standoffish, offensive, all sorts of things like that. But it's because they're so deeply hurt, and they're still trying to figure it out. They're super confused around this situation, but it's because I don't think they've had to learn, you know, again, like the proper ways to communicate or to express their feelings, or to even reflect on those feelings and whatever. But they are going through the learning process, so you have to give them that. You know, we all start from being birthed into this world knowing absolutely nothing, and so we can't really like hold it against people for not knowing, you know, proper communication, things like that, because it really depends on our past experiences. We learn based on our past experiences, right? And this will eventually be one of their past experiences that they've learned from. This will eventually be that. And so we can't really necessarily judge people too much. Like, our feelings are valid. We can be mad at this person. We can, like, you know, see things for the way that they are. But at the same time, it's good to have the understanding of knowing, like, you know, we're all born in this planet knowing absolutely nothing. So we have to, you know, be understanding with people, right? But again, it just seems like they're going through a learning process. They're learning their mistakes. They're learning how to admit mistakes. It doesn't seem like they've learned that quite yet, but I think that they will. I have faith. But yeah, this person constantly is hung up about you, constantly thinking about you, because they care about you so much, and also because I feel like you've had a big impact on this person, in this person's life. But again, there was some sort of falling out, some sort of like disagreement here, some conflict, and this person got hurt. Like, they don't know how to admit when they're wrong, and I think that that's one of the main faults here that they have. Of course, everything is two-sided, so, you know, there's always apologies that are needed on two ends of things. But yeah, the vibe that I'm getting from this group is that this person is not wanting to apologize. They're not wanting to communicate properly, and things like that. But again, I do think that the outcome will eventually turn out. I feel like we all inevitably learn certain things. No matter, sometimes it takes a while though. It really just depends. It's different per person. But for those of you pile 5 that are watching this is almost turning into like a therapy session, I feel like. But for those of you, group 5, that are on this pile with me, this is the person that constantly has you on their mind. And at least a big message that I feel like they really want to say in this is that they care about you so deeply. But one thing to understand about this person is I don't think that they've learned enough to communicate maturely about this. But I do think that they will see the light. I do think that they will come around. I really do. The fact that we have the Hangman, they will eventually see it from the opposite perspective. And they've been trying to see it from your perspective, which I think is great development on their part. So yeah, they're learning slowly. The next card, the card that I'm about to put down, is a card that represents the sort of relationship between you two and sort of, you know, where they're at. We have this prosperity card, which is actually quite shocking. I didn't mean to say shopping. I meant to say shocking. It is quite shocking to me. So, you know, I actually think that this card is a really good card to be coming up, because I think this person thinks very highly of you. And when they think about the past, I think that's the part that hurts them the most, is because they've had such an abundant, beautiful past with you. And I think they've felt such a deep connection with you, but it's kind of like their own stubbornness that's standing in their way a little bit here. But they're still thinking about you a lot. And I think that when they think about you, they still remember all of the amazing times and how beautiful your relationship was together. I think this person thinks about that a lot, you know, a lot. Even though they seem avoidant and distant, they think about how amazing it was, and that goes through their mind quite a bit. So the next 3 cards, it's really interesting. I actually ended up pulling more cards for this pile than any other pile, and I don't ever look at the cards that are like coming down or that I put down until we do the reading. And it's just really interesting. I remember thinking in my head, like, I wonder like what pile 5 is going to be, because I'm pulling more cards. It seems like I just felt like pulling more cards for this group. And it makes sense now that we're on this pile. I'm like, yep, makes sense. It's a really more intense sort of read that we have here. So then the next card we have is Ride the Wave. I think that this person is also sort of waiting to see how it plays out, because I don't think this person knows how to really take charge and take control, and they don't know how to address confrontation. They don't know how to have conversations. They don't know how to like bring that up. So I think this person's really just waiting to see how it plays out, how it rides out, and they're just kind of going with the flow. And they're also waiting until things calm down. And I feel like this person will start reaching out to you again once the emotions kind of calm down a little bit, because right now they're on top of the wave basically. Because I feel like they're still feeling a lot of emotion, a lot of emotional intensity from this. So they're just riding the wave. And if it naturally comes to a place of being ready to talk about it, that's going to be when this sort of plays out and happens. Then we also have the Bone Collector. This is making me feel like this person is sort of almost going through all the things that have happened between you two and sort of seeing all of the reasons why, you know, why they're right and you're wrong, or collecting like all the data. This person's been collecting all the data and trying to like, you know, really analyze it. This person's been deep on analyzing. Also, bones always symbolize the transition of something. Also when something has like died out. So they've also been sort of like, I think reflecting on all of the changes that have happened, or all of like the small little things that built up to this big thing, and all of the things that they've maybe like let slide or forgotten about. And they're sort of just like re-bringing all of that back up. But at the same time, as they do that, they also get reminded of all the good times with you, and they're sort of wondering like, you know, what is this? And I think they're, very confused about, they're very confused about what happened here. And I feel like they're also, I don't know, looking for reasons that they might be right still. We also have the card here of movement. So this person has also been distancing themselves, is what I get from this. They've been distancing themselves and also trying to like move forward, but they're so hung up on you that I think it's been quite difficult. But they've been trying to like move ahead. But again, the Hangman tells me that they've had quite difficulty with that, because obviously they can't get you off their mind. But yet physically, I feel like they've been distancing themselves and moving forward with like physical activities and physical other like things that have been going on. But at the same time, their mind, their mental state is very much hung up on you, even though it feels like maybe they've moved on. And, you know, I feel like even when you look at their maybe like social media posts and things like that, it might seem like this person's very moved on. But let me tell you, physically, it might look like they've moved on from the physical evidence. But their mind, their emotions are very hung up on you. So yeah, with that being said, the next 3 cards that we have here, we have the 3rd chakra, Archangel Shamuel. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. So the 3rd chakra is our solar plexus. This person they have a lot to express to you, to say the least. If they weren't so avoidant on conversation, this person would have a lot to say. That the 3rd chakra is all about expression. It is also about having fun too. So our ability to find enjoyment. So this person has had a lot of fun with you. And I think that this person, like, you're kind of like their light, their sun. They've had so much light with you, so much fun times. But they also have so much to express. My goodness, do they ever have so much to express? We also, of course we have this one coming up. I'm not even surprised, but like, wow, does this ever fit in? This person feels very torn up about, oh, and look at that. The candle just burned out as I placed this card down. Hold on. I just need to like take a moment here because that was like such an intense message from Spirit. I got goosebumps. Okay. Let me readjust myself in my chair. So, also, I'm sorry, like sometimes I laugh in between this, but I have so much energy and so much expression, so sometimes I like laugh in between readings, even though they're like intense and sometimes like, you know, whatever. But anyway, they have a lot to express. They feel very torn up and hurt about this, to be honest. They care about you so much. Like this person cares about you so much. If they put up a tough front to you and it seems like they don't care and they're very avoidant and they're trying to look like they've moved on a lot on social media and they're like, I'm in a better place now, like I don't need certain people in my life. If they've been posting that, they're posting that because of how much they hurt, because of how much they have not moved on. You know, they're trying to convince themselves that they've moved on. I'm getting such an intense message here. They have been trying to convince themselves that they've moved on. They have been trying to find evidence for themselves that they have let go and that they don't care. What I want you to know is if you see any of that on like social media or you hear hearsay from other people that say, oh no, I think that person's really moved on, like, you know, no. That is an absolute front of them trying to convince themselves. Anytime that anybody, honestly, in my opinion, that I've seen of when people like make statuses or social media posts talking about how much they've moved on from something, most of the time, and I'd say like 95% of the time that I see these posts, it is so obviously stemming from a place of like, I have not moved on and I'm really trying hard, but I care still so much. You know, other than, I've definitely seen a few posts that seem authentically like, you know, but the only reason why somebody would post about having moved on from something, and they mean it legitimately, is if they come from a place where they don't seem like they're attached to it anymore and they're trying to do it, you know, to guide other people. If they're doing it out of a place of ego that seems very much like, look at me, I've moved on. We don't need like blah, blah, blah. If it still stems from that place of like hurt and you can still tell that there's like a bitter undertone to it, pretty much guaranteed that person still cares. And they care way more than you think. And they're hurting way more than you think. So yeah, I don't know why I'm getting the message that this group, if you ever crept their social media, you might see certain posts of them being like, I'm having so much of a better time in my life. I don't care about certain things in my past anymore, da da da. They probably are constantly like, you know, I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting this feeling like this person's doing that. I don't know why. I'm getting the feeling that this person's doing that. But I think it really is stemming from the fact that they are so hurt from this and the fact that they care so much, and they're trying to sweep it under the rug, and they're trying to pretend that they're over it. Whew. Deep breaths. So yeah, I mean, this person still really cares. That's the main point. And that's kind of like the intensity that I was sort of feeling like back when we started the group, and I was like, I'm getting an intense energy here. It's like, yeah, it's all that. So the next card that we have here is the Transmute card, which is the worker bee. They're very much trying to transmute their energy. They're trying to take, they're trying to get past what is dead, but they're still collecting. Look at, they're still collecting what has died. They're still sitting in this pile of all of the bones, which the bones symbolize something that's died out, which would symbolize your connection with this person, right? The connection isn't really there anymore, but they're still collecting it. They're still focused on it. They're still sitting in it. They're still, that's where they are. They haven't moved on from that. And they're trying to transmute that energy. They're trying to get past it. I feel like they've been putting a lot of effort and a lot of work to get past it, but I really don't think that they have. And of course we have the Death card coming up. I was waiting for that card to come up, I'll be honest. So they've been trying to transmute this energy to go through this transition to change, but this person wants to kind of like, I don't know, the part of them wants to move on to the point where they don't need you, because like that would make their ego feel good. But at the same time, they care about you so much that would also hurt them so bad to do that. But they wish it didn't, if that makes sense. But it's because they care about you. It's because they care about you so much. They also really wish that your connection would come back, but that would also hurt their ego, because they know that they would have to apologize. They know that they would have to own up to their mistakes. And that's very difficult for this person. Having a transition is very difficult. Or admitting to their faults in order to kind of like rekindle this is extremely difficult. It doesn't even feel like an option for them at this point. I do think that this person will be transforming and going through a bit of an ego death soon. And I think that once this person goes through that ego death, they will be reaching out to you and apologizing. But first, this person needs to have this sort of ego death where they learn how to admit fault, they learn how to admit mistakes, they learn emotional and communicational maturity. And right as that happens, I do think that this person will be reaching out to you again. But until then, not so much. I'm also going to restart my camera so that it doesn't cut out while we go through some more cards. Okay, we are back. So we're going to shuffle this deck to try to get some more information on this reading. So group number 5, self-love. They're on a self-love journey. I'm not even surprised to see that. We also have, this regret card. They absolutely have regrets. Are they willing to admit it? Not quite so much, because that would mean that they would have to, their pride is too much right now. But this, I mean, you're honestly always on this person's mind. So let's see what else we get here. We have, this group is getting juicy, my goodness. Okay, so this person is on a self-love journey. They're learning slowly how to love themselves. And as they do, I think that they'll be reaching back to you. And I think this is also a message for you who's watching this to focus on self-love right now. I think this is also a message for you who's listening from Spirit to focus on self-love right now, because this person's going through their own thing. It has nothing to do with you. Well, it does, obviously, but at the same time, this is kind of their own ish that's been causing such turmoil and such difficulty within this, right? We do have regrets, so I think that this person does have certain regrets. I think that they feel a lot of anxiety around this, like more than you think. This really bothers them to their core. They feel very deeply about it. I don't think they would ever admit to that because they're not willing to accept it right now, but like this person has trouble sleeping at night because of this. And I do think it's part of their growth to to learn from this. But then look at this. We also have this spy card, and look at all the social media stuff. This person still asks about you, wonders about you. If you two have mutual friends, guaranteed that when this person talks to your mutual friends, they're asking questions about you. They want to know how you're doing. This person is looking at your social media, wanting to know what you're doing with your life. They have really not moved on. They have not moved on, to say the least. They're very hung up on you, which is exactly what we had with this hangman in the beginning. They're very much hung up on you. Let's see what else we get here. So group 5, what else do we have here for group number 5? Healing. Oh my God, these oracle cards have just been so on point. So we have the healing card. This person is obviously going through a healing journey. They are healing themselves, and as they do this, I do think that they're going to finally get to a place of more maturity. Receptivity. I think you two are both very still emotionally connected to where you can kind of like feel each other a little bit, and you can kind of sense that all this is going on. I also think this person's very sensitive when it comes to topics about you. And they're putting out their feelers constantly to kind of like, I don't know, learn more about you from other people. And they're trying to really connect to like, oh, how is this person doing? How are they doing? Like, you know, da-da-da-da-da. I also think that what they post, another thing that I'm getting right here from these two cards, they also post on social media hoping that you see it. All of their posts lately are hoping that you see that. When this person, for example, like posts a story on Instagram, I think the first thing that they check, and they're constantly checking throughout the day, did they like it? Did they watch my story? Have they seen it? Because I can tell if they've seen it, you know? And this person gets juice out of that. They've been putting out their feelers constantly, like, look at this. They've been constantly like putting out their feelers on their phone to be like, you know, did they like it? Did they watch my story? Did their friend watch my story? I bet they're watching my story right now. And it gives them like satisfaction to which is I think why when that I picked up on the fact that I think that this person has also been trying to like prove a point by making it seem like their life is so good without you and making it very obviously written. That is directed towards you, hoping that you're going to see it. That is 100% just for you to see. That's not them being like, oh, I'm posting this for myself because I'm feeling so good. Like, you can tell when it comes from a place of like, oh, I'm posting this for myself versus I'm posting this because I hope they see it and I hope they get the point that like I'm fine without them and like blah, 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 blah. That stems from a place of hurt. And again, this person's putting out their feelers constantly, like trying to do that. They literally, every post that they make is in hopes that you see it. Every Snapchat story that they have in hopes that you see it. It's very manipulative, to be honest, and very immature, but that's just the stage of their life that they're in, I guess. So yes, that's what we have going on over there. We're going to take our last deck of cards to get any last information on this reading. We have Lake Stillness, so they're still not taking any action, and they don't feel like taking action anytime soon. We also have Dreamtime Creation and Communion. So there's still bird's eye view. This is like taking an eagle's view to kind of like see like what's going on. And I think again, this talks about them reaching out to friends to kind of like, you know, spy on you. Like this person might, for example, I think that they see everything that you post as well, even if they don't like it or watch your story. I think that this person either has fake accounts to spy on you, or they get other friends to look at what you're going through in order to gain wisdom and knowledge upon what you're doing, even though it might seem like still, like it might seem like there's no action. There's been a lot of action here, but it's been a lot of unsaid, very hidden action. Okay, there's been a lot of hidden action around this whole scenario. And I think it's possibly even between you both, right? But, you know, I'm getting it mostly from them, but I do think it might have been a little bit mutual here. But yeah. We also have Dreamtime Creation. So this makes me think that this person, you're in their dreams a lot. You've been kind of either haunting their dreams, and like yeah, they've definitely just been having certain dreams about you. And I think that because they think about you so much, you're so much in their subconscious mind, that it stems up and manifests through dreams, through other random thoughts. Like really, they're just completely hung up on you in their mind, and they're constantly thinking about you, to say the least. So yeah, and how this plays out, how this ends up playing out, I think will be different for each of you. Again, it is a general reading, so I think it'll be slightly different for each of you though. But I am getting, and I am picking up on the feeling that this person is going to eventually reach more emotional maturity through having to sort of face their ego and go through this healing. And I think as they begin to do that, they're going to begin to reach out to you in order to kind of like have a more mature conversation around this topic. I don't think it's just going to end here and that's going to be it. Just because of the fact that there's so much energy here, I really think that this is going to lead to more conversations in the future. But how long that takes, I think will be different for each of you watching this, again, because it is a general reading. But I do think that there's going to be future communication between you two to sort of heal this and yeah, things like that. But this is the person that came up for you, group 5. This is the person that is that has you on their mind, that is constantly thinking about you. So that is what we have here. I'm wishing you the best in your journey with this person. I know this was a little bit more of an intense reading, but yeah, I'm wishing you the absolute best in your journey with this person and this whole situation. I feel like this is just, you know, part of life. We go through stuff like this. So that is what we have here for you. I'm wishing you all my best. I'm sending you all my love to you and this person. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group number 5. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I would love to see you there. And hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye.